BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band. Is BoogeyMan band.
Greetings to fellow Fried Beans, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This is going to be the second part of my Beverly Hills Cop celebration video series. I know that I had said in my previous video where I talked about Beverly Hills Cop 3 that my next one would be on Cop 2. That will be after this one. So that one will most likely post on Monday, this coming Monday, which will be July the 1st. And then you'll have the original Beverly Hills Cop. I'll do that one on the 2nd. And then, of course, 3rd is when Beverly Hills Cop Axel F premieres on Netflix. So that is when I have the entire day off. I'm actually taking a long week vacation next week. My company gives us the 4th of July off, and since that is on a Thursday, I thought I would take Wednesday the 3rd off for the obvious reason, and then also take Friday the 5th off. But for today, I'm actually going to be talking about some things that I have from the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, things that I've picked up over the years, because I've been a Beverly Hills Cop fan for almost 40 years, because I saw the first movie when I was 10. Came out in 1984. Back in the early 2000s, when I was really getting into eBay and buying things on eBay, some of the first purchases I made were press kits, promotional books on movies. A lot of them were made in Japan. First thing I want to showcase, this is something that I got the year that Beverly Hills Cop 2 came out. So summer of 1987, I was at my grandparents' in Manteca. When I found this, it was in a mall in Modesto, and it is the novelization of Beverly Hills Cop 2. Now, I got this when I was 13 years old, and I remember I bought it in a bookstore. I think it was Walden Books. People remember Walden Books. I was with my grandparents, and my grandfather loved the Beverly Hills Cop films. I would watch the original with them. At that point, they hadn't seen Beverly Hills Cop 2 because it was still, it was in theaters. And this was June of 1987, so it had been out for about a month at that point. But I remember my grandmother and I went into a store, and we came back out, and my grandfather held on to the book. So I think I gave him the bag to hold on to. And I remember he was flipping through it, and he read the beginning of it, and he goes, "This isn't the first movie." He thought it was the first movie because he said he's talking about wearing an expensive suit and driving a Ferrari. And I said, "No, Grandpa." I said, that's this is the second film that you haven't seen yet. That always just stuck with me, that he was flipping through it and reading it. But yeah, it's still in pretty good shape for being, nearly 40 years old. Yeah, it's a great book. I don't know how easy it is to find this, but I've had it since I was 13 years old. So that's one of my prized items right there that I have. Next thing I want to showcase, this is something I got off of eBay, and I noticed this hat when Eddie Murphy did a promotional making of for Beverly Hills Cop 3, that he was wearing a hat like this, and it's just a Beverly Hills Cop 3 baseball cap. It doesn't fit me very well because I got a gigantic head, but I've had this since the early 2000s, but I remember looking for them in stores. And I never could find one. So they had some Beverly Hills Cops 3 stuff at Paramount's Great America, because I did go in the summer of 94, the same year that the movie came out. But it was all white t-shirts and things like that, if I remember correctly. Nothing like this. And I just thought this was really, really cool. Speaking of Beverly Hills Cop 3, I do have several press kits from the film. This one is the European press kit, but you open this up and it has just a breakdown with some images of the film. So sorry about the glare, but some really cool stuff in it also. This was actually a more simplified press kit than the one that was done stateside, but then you have some nice still photos. There's Timothy Carhart and Eddie Murphy in the scene where he's getting the award. And then you have the scene where Axel's in jail there. And there's this scene here where the showdown at the end. Some really cool stills. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff they would give out at screenings, things like this. This is the one stateside, which is much heftier. As you can see, it comes with a big amount of stuff here. There, it comes with the same kind of, like a booklet. This one's a lot nicer. This one's bound. This one's bound. That one was stapled, the one in the European one. Some really cool shots of Eddie Murphy, and then write-ups about the film. And who made it, and I'll showcase some of the stills. I mean, there's a lot of stills to show, but I'll just show you like how many they included. That's how many pictures are in this. It's pretty incredible. I actually have doubles of some because I bought some separately before I bought the press kit. So I have doubles of like this image right there. See that right there? But like here's one cool image right there. Another one there. I like that picture a lot. So yeah, just love these press kits. I love going through them and looking at them, and I've kept all this stuff immaculately. I mean, I've had some of these things for probably 20 years now, and they still look brand new. Beverly Hills Cop 2. I don't have one for Cop 1. This one's really nice. One of the most infamous shots. And that one's in color. There's also some black and white pictures in here. And I don't recall if that first image I showed, if it was one I bought or one that came with this. It might have been one that I bought separately, because all the images in this are black and white. Chris Rock and Paul Reiser. So yeah, I love that. This is such a great press kit. I'm so glad I have this. This one does have a little bit of a bend on it here, but still, just this just sort of gives you a little bit of information about, you know, information on the film. This was something that came out for the box set the first time the series was on DVD. I never liked that image. This just shows like all the movies that Eddie Murphy had that were coming out on DVD. At Harlem Nights, Vampire in Brooklyn. But the focus was on the complete lineup for Beverly Hills Cop. But I just thought this was something I'd throw in. And it also had, they were releasing a VHS tape as well as a special edition of the original film. They were highlighting those. And then I have a couple of stills from the original Beverly Hills Cop in here. I believe that's Japanese. There's Japanese writing on the bottom. Original poster. This one too. I never understood why they just didn't use this image instead of that. It just looks terrible. I never understood that. And that's on the back of the original film too, when it came out on DVD for the first time. And then, of course, the opening scene of the film, and then the climax of the film with Taggart and Rosewood. So yeah, I just keep these with because I don't have a press kit for the original film, so I just keep it in this. Another thing I want to showcase, I do have the program for Eddie Murphy Raw. This was something, again, off of eBay. It does have images from Beverly Hills Cop 2, because that came out the same year that this debuted in theaters, and then he was doing the tour. So just thought I would showcase this as well. I always wanted to see him live and do stand-up, but I think that ship has sailed. I just don't think he's going to do it anymore. He's actually been talking about it on some of the press that he's been doing for Axel Foley, that he would like to do almost more like a variety show instead of just him on, you know, doing stand-up by himself like he did back in the day. Golden Child, another amazing film, one of my favorites. Lots of Beverly Hills Cop stuff in here. And of course, this is really cool right there. And then I have these media books, I guess that you could call them that, or they're little like they're like media books or tour book, whatever you want to call them. But they're from overseas. One is French, and the others are Japanese. But I have two for Beverly Hills Cop 3. I got the Japanese one and the French one, and then I have the Japanese ones for Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Cop 1. And there was nothing like this stateside, so you got stuff like this, just write-ups. Again, some of these images are showcased in that Raw tour book that I showed. But yeah, so Cop 1, and I always like it's got Jenny, Lisa Eilbacher on the back with Eddie. And then Cop 2, this is my favorite cover. I don't know why, I just think that's cool. Let's see, I've got some good pictures in here. I like this one. Yeah, the back, it's him in the pool at the mansion. It's great. And then here's Beverly Hills Cop 3. There just wasn't a lot of stuff, so I just would seek out the stuff online because there just wasn't a lot that you could buy celebrating these films back then. This kind of stuff was very rare and hard to find, and I just thought it was really cool. And then of course it's him on the spider ride right there. This one's a little bit different the way it's structured. It doesn't have as many pictures. It kind of reuses some of the same photos from the Japanese one, but John Land is the director. So yeah, just some cool media stuff that I have in my collection, stuff that I really am glad that I still have and that I've kept in really good shape over all these years, because again, got this stuff probably 20 years ago. But yeah, really happy to have all these. Yeah, the other item I have here in the horror zone is this little Hot Wheels 68 Chevy Nova, of course modeled after Eddie Murphy's car in the original Beverly Hills Cop, his blue Chevy Nova, crappy blue Chevy Nova as he calls it. Yeah, I got this at Fry's Electronics like about, I'm gonna say I think 2010, 2011, and I just thought it was awesome. But yeah, I really loved that, and I always wish that car would have shown up again, like maybe in the second film. But yeah, really happy to have that piece. Okay, now we are in the Horror Zone Lounge, and I've shown this before, just the ceiling of posters. So I have Beverly Hills Cop, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Cop 3, both versions of the Cop 3 poster. I also got the teaser, Axel Foley poster right there for the new film. And then of course the brand new one is down here at the end. So yeah, I got all these. I had originally had these. I actually got my first Cop 3 poster. I got it at WonderCon in 1994, and it just got wrecked. I bought this one at Suncoast originally. Both of them got wrecked, unfortunately, but this one here is from a video store in my hometown, and I actually, it was one of those mom and pop video stores. It was run by a woman named Rosemary and her son. And I would go by there every day after school and talk to her and try to see if I could get her to give me this poster. And eventually she gave it to me. So I've had this poster since summer of 1988 or spring of 1988. I believe she gave it to me, and the movie came out on VHS in April, late March, early April of 1988. That's when it was finally released, and I believe it was May that she gave me this poster, and I remember it was like one of the biggest thrills of my life. And it's in rough shape, but she was a really nice lady, and every once in a while I would like help her out around the shop, like I would dump garbage for her and stuff like that. So it's a nice memento from that time. And yeah, she was a really cool person. But over here I have a standee, you know, like the little video store standees of Beverly Hills Cop 2. And I got this from another mom and pop video store called Gemini Video. And I just remember going in and asking if I could have it. They said, sure, take it. And I took it. And yeah, I've had it ever since. And it's still in really good shape for being as old as it is. And with regards to the movies, I still have all of my VHS tapes. So first one I'll showcase is this box set, and this is just called Beverly Hills Cop: The Collection. My grandmother got me this at Virgin Megastore in 1996, and this was just the coolest thing for me to have a box set with all 3 films. So really cool. And then I also have the special edition. This one came out in 2002 with the Beverly Hills Cop: The Complete Lineup. First time it was released on DVD. And this has the featurette, the cast and crew interviews, as well as casting Beverly Hills Cop. So really cool. Again, that image I don't like, but there it is. This is another release of Beverly Hills Cop. This looks to be one of the original. This looks like the original box that you would see at the video store when you would rent them. Yeah, glad I found this as well. And I already showcased this in my previous video, but this is the complete lineup. So it's all 3 films. Let's see, Beverly Hills Cop, Beverly Hills Cop 2, and of course the one I already talked about, Beverly Hills Cop 3. The Blu-ray set that came out, and I got this in 2020 during the pandemic. I got this off of Amazon, and this is just 3-movie collection. Beverly Hills Cop has a couple of deleted scenes, which are really, really cool. Yeah, the other special features that are on the complete lineup DVDs are not on Beverly Hills Cop 2 or Beverly Hills Cop 3, which I always thought was odd. Now, with regards to soundtracks, I found all of them except for my Beverly Hills Cop 2 cassette, which was the first cassette I got in terms of the scores or the soundtracks from the film series. I played that thing incessantly, so it was probably good. I remember there was sometimes it would just like the sound on it would get really low because I had played it so many times. So unfortunately, I couldn't find that one, but I do have my original Beverly Hills Cop cassette. This is one that I played quite a bit as well. Would ride my bike back and forth from school to my grandmother's and have either this one or the second one playing. So yeah, I love this score. I have it as well. I'll move this one aside first. I also have it, the CD, and I believe I got this in 1994 when Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out. But yeah, I have the CD, and then I also have, which I got in 2020, this is by La La Land Records. It's the limited edition composed Harold Faltermeyer score, and it's absolutely fantastic. It also includes songs from the regular soundtrack, like Heat Is On, Neutron Dance, New Attitude by Patti LaBelle, Stir It Up. But yeah, this is a terrific release, and it even has a really cool booklet inside, right up by Tim Grieving on the score. And yeah, really nice release. I got this, I believe I got this in 2017 at Half Price Books. So it is the vinyl soundtrack. This is the original release for Beverly Hills Cop 2. And I had never had it before because I didn't have a record player at the time this came out. Back in 1987, so everything I listened to was on cassettes. I do have the CD as well. Again, got this in, I believe I got this in 1994. Go right there. Great soundtrack. And then also from La La Land Records is this limited edition Beverly Hills Cop 2 composed by Harold Faltermeyer. It does the same thing as the original. It does have songs from the original release, so you have like Shakedown by Bob Seger, I Want Your Sex by George Michael, Be There by the Pointer Sisters. Really nice release, and again, much like Beverly Hills Cop 1, has a little insert booklet. Awesome picture of Axel Foley there at the beginning of the film. Just an excellent release. Got this again in 2020 during the pandemic. Then I also have the soundtracks for Beverly Hills Cop 3. They never did, La La Land Records didn't do one of the score. Of course, that score was done by Nile Rodgers. 1994, this is my original cassette. And then I got the CD that same summer. I believe I got this in Modesto when I went to go visit my grandparents in Manteca, and we went to the mall. A couple of other items that I have are the Axel Foley pop figures. They only did 2. I'm gonna move Marty McFly and John Wick real quick. But there they are. You have Axel Foley and Axel Foley with the Mumford Phys Ed shirt, as well as his little hoodie and the bananas, where he puts the bananas in the tailpipe. Yeah, I really love these pop figures. Really cool. And I have them next to Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett from Bad Boys. So really cool. Love those figures. So up there in the corner is an autographed picture of Eddie Murphy that has a certificate of authenticity. I got that in Tahoe in 1998. My friends and I went up to go just hang out in Tahoe for one night, gambling and things like that. And I went into the store that had a lot of like autographed memorabilia, be it sports and acting, and I was just flipping through and I found this, and I believe this cost me, again, I'm guessing here, but I know it was like about 100, maybe 120 bucks. And it does have a certificate of authenticity that I have on the back side of the photo. But from one of my favorite movies of all time, and that is Eddie Murphy's autograph. I have seen autographed pictures that he has signed, and that is his autograph. So yeah, I've had that for a long time, and it's Probably my favorite thing I have of Eddie Murphy's and from the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. And these films just mean so much to me and were just a terrific part of my childhood. So that is really it. I was going to just close with that last showcase of the autographed picture of Eddie Murphy, but there's one last thing I want to talk about, and this is something that I happened upon when I was doing some, digging, looking for some of this stuff to showcase in this video. This is something I wrote in high school when I was in journalism, Mr. Brown's class. And as a teenager, I thought it would be cool to be a film critic. I thought I would be kind of the, I never really liked film critics, so I wanted to be kind of like someone that wrote about films because they loved films. And that doesn't mean I would like everything, but I just felt like I would be a much more fair critic. Again, I was a kid, but he would give us assignments to write these stories about, like one time he gave us like a synopsis and we had to write a story about it. Like one was like a blimp crashing into the high school that I wrote. And this one was about like my future and my career. And it didn't turn out like I thought it would, but it's in this, I talk about saying that it's almost like somebody was doing a interview with me. And it says, when I graduated from UCLA in 1996, I was one of the highest grade point averages in the entire graduating class. At age 23, Mr. Ottaviano applied for a job on the LA Times. He didn't really care what spot he got. He just wanted a job on the paper. Writing was and still is my life, said Ottaviano. I knew if I didn't get this job, I'd wind up busting tables for a while. Well, he didn't have to worry about getting the job. Max Dyson, the owner of the LA Times, was very impressed with Ottaviano's past stories and witty personality. He started him off as a news writer. One day, Ottaviano was on the set of Eddie Murphy's latest movie, Beverly Hills Cop 5. He was there doing an interview with Murphy because Murphy had been receiving death threats over the phone. I'm glad I volunteered to do the assignment, said Ottaviano, because if I hadn't been there, Murphy might not have lived. Murphy was performing when Ottaviano heard something coming from the top of the soundstage. He looked up and saw a man aiming a gun at Murphy. I couldn't believe it. This guy was going to kill Eddie Murphy right there. I had to do something. Ottaviano ran off to the set Murphy was performing, pushed him out of the harm's way just as the assassin fired the bullet, hit Ottaviano in the shoulder. Murphy's bodyguards caught the assassin as he was escaping, said Ottaviano. The hero Murphy was okay. Ottaviano was then known as the hero of Hollywood. Murphy and Ottaviano are best friends, and the Times made him their star movie critic. Ottaviano is now invited to every movie premiere by the stars he knows, stars like Eddie Murphy, Christian Slater, Julia Roberts, Jim Belushi, and Chevy Chase. So it's just something funny to read, something that you wrote when you were 17, 18 years old. I wrote that at a very young age, and as I said, I was always starstruck by Eddie Murphy and, hoped that one day I would be able to talk to him or meet him or somehow be involved in the film industry, which is why I went to film school. A lot of that has to do with the Beverly Hills Cop films. Even though horror is my life, the Beverly Hills Cop films and Eddie Murphy are just as important in my life. And, I love this franchise. I love this character. This new movie coming out really is very, very important to me. And it's really been a lot of fun going and showcasing all this stuff I've collected over the years, being the huge fan that I am. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favorite item was that I showcased down in the comments section below. Would love to hear from everyone. And again, I'm going to be peppering these in with horror stuff that I usually do on the channel, but there's going to be a few more Beverly Hills Cop videos. I hope people are enjoying them. People seem to like the third one, the one I did on Beverly Hills Cop 3. I appreciate people letting me sort of segue into some non-horror subjects every once in a while, but this is really an important one for me. This film coming out, the fourth Beverly Hills Cop film, which, I hope it's good. From everything I'm hearing, it is. But I'm really just excited to see it, and I can't believe that it's been 30 years since part 3 came out, and I've been waiting that long. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope everyone's doing well. Talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Hey, my fellow Fright Fiends, I just want to thank everyone for supporting BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. If you haven't yet subscribed and you'd like to, please hit the subscribe button down below. Click the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I try to drop a video at least once or twice a week. The Horror Zone is a passion of mine, and it really makes me happy that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace.